Today, I'm thrilled to introduce our esteemed guest, Priyanka Agarwal. Priyanka is the overall coordinator of the E-Cell at IIM Bangalore and has an impressive background in innovation and entrepreneurship. With a career spanning roles at Infosys, Transaction Technologies, and InfoEdge, Priyanka brings a wealth of experience in developing and managing new gen products and solving complex problems. So, first of all, thank you so much, Priyanka, for joining us today. It's absolutely a delight to have you.
Thank you, Samran. Thank you for inviting me. I hope I can add value to the discussion.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. So, Priyanka, just to start with, if you could throw some light on what is the mission and vision of the Entrepreneurship Cell at IIM Bangalore? What are the things that they want to accomplish?
So, E-Cell is a student-run body at IIM Bangalore, and it basically focuses on creating an entrepreneurship environment in the college itself. So, as you see that in IIM Bangalore, a lot of people come with a business mindset, and they somehow get focused towards getting a job or service. But there are people who have a set of innovation ideas in their mind, and this is a platform which help them nourish that and give them all the requested support to basically try and hurt their ideas and see what better they can do. So it is basically creating and inspiring people to be entrepreneurship and cut down the fears if they have any.
Oh, that sounds great. So, is this only for the IIM Bangalore students, or it's something that the institute believes in to create an environment of entrepreneurship, and they also encourage other students?
So ECell is particularly a student-run body at IIM Bangalore, which help IMB students in particular with all those quiz and or speaker session. Along with that, it has a lot of case competition and a platform where IMB student as well as any external participant can participate and challenge each other and see. So all these case competitions and startup programs which we run gives other student as well and other entrepreneur as well to come forward and compete with each other. That is there. Along with that, there is a separate body NSRCEL which help other startup or the people who have innovation and business ideas to incubate. But to say particularly ECell is to nourish and give platform to the IMB students.
Okay, that sounds so. IIM Bangalore students, as we all know, these are the smarter, MBA lot and one of the toppers of the country from CAT and all that. So, how do you find that with the establishment of ECell, have you seen the transformation in their mindsets, and have you seen them transforming their business ideas into viable startups?
Yeah, definitely. It's a very very effective body, and it has helped a lot of people to basically come forward and talk about their ideas and see how they can we can overall support them, and it also brings people. I mean, help people bring come up with new ideas and all. So, for example, I can talk about a lot of people who has come up with their ideas and get a support from us, and if we run any competition per se, so people also think about new ideas that these all can be done, and they come up, they pitch something like to a founder. It's a setup. They pitch to a founders and see how good their ideas are. Couple of startups, if we can talk about, then there are Doku Stack, which has who Subham Saurabh was having an idea, and then he reached out, and then we connected, and then we connected with the right people, and then he got a platform where he can run through an idea. So basically, when people come to an I mean college, the ideas are very fresh and need a lot of polishing and support and guidance, and that is where we help. That is level one. The level two is there are a lot of ideas which are scarce. For that, there is a ESAP program where we talk about startups. People come up with their startup ideas, and other students also counter questions and see how we can polish those ideas. So all these programs are there in different levels, which help them nourish and come up with the better ideas. The third is that the third level, the level three, is that creating awareness to the student. There are a lot of people who are coming up with new innovation idea. You see, you read through it. For that, there is an entrepreneur quiz. So in the level 3, we ask questions. Do you know this? Do you know this is happening in the startup world? And then people start reading about it, and they encourage to read more, understand that we can. And this is where they also get inspired to start something, or you think about something. If
Right.
that answer your questions.
Yeah, so that's very interesting to know that you're supporting on all phases, really speaking, from ideation to grooming that idea and converting into kind of a minimum viable product, and then trying to help them with the product market fit. So, as to say, so actually kind of hand holding them. I think also one of the observations which I have found is that these kind of universities and colleges, they not only provide that mindset change, because still the student mindset is a little easier to nurture as compared to say a working professional's mindset. Other than that, there's important thing is that we can find very good co-founders in such universities. I have seen many very good startups come up because these are friends, and they can kind of trust each other, and the love that they have for each other, that also translates into their companies. So I think it's a wonderful thing that IIM Bangalore and other similar colleges and universities are doing.
Yeah, I mean, yes. So basically, when we, so as I talk about that as you are talking about the co-founders and all, so when people come up with any idea, say for example, they have to pitch for any competition, the startup programs which we run, they talk, they form a group basically, right? And there they form a group with the like-minded people. So if you have to pitch any idea, and there the juggle happens. And then if you go to the hostel room, you see that the two people who are participating in the competition and a lot of other friends who come up and polish their ideas and talk about. And there people start finding the like-minded people and help each other grow and give ideas where they were have past experiences. See, because
Right.
it's not only the competitions or the platform. Basically, you have to do the data analysis. You connect with a lot of people, you take interviews with a lot of people. Say for example, I'm running a clothes business, so I have to interview a lot of for the competition itself. So the people start connecting each other with all the people in the market they know, and this is how the whole ecosystem develop. And people are very, the one thing I really like about I am Bangalore is that people are very active about it, that you go as support and connect. You can do all these analysis, you connect with this, you do data analysis with this. So all these things really help, I believe so. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think another important area which I think you have mentioned is that they provide excellent networking opportunities, because IIM Bangalore has very distinguished alumni. They have access to VCs, they have access to academia, they also have access to
Correct.
entrepreneurs. So all these things they completely add up, because entrepreneurship is not just limited to being starting a business. It could also mean a mindset shift. So there are, I'm very sure IIM Bangalore has very distinguished alumni in very senior positions, and now larger corporations are also looking at setting or working in collaboration with startups or startup mindset people, because they want to innovate, they want to have that fresh energy. So all those things add up looking at the ecosystem.
Yes, definitely. I mean, the few very established startups and which we see is like Big Basket Delivery, Lens Cards, all these are IMB alumni. And the thing is that along with that, we have the projects which we do, and we have to connect with these startups. It really helps. I mean, this network really helps you grow and get easy access to all these information.
Yeah, absolutely. So, because it's also a platform where we are talking about women and encouraging more and more women to come forward and delve into their entrepreneurial journey, we're just curious to know, Priyanka, how is the representation of women in IIM Bangalore, and are we taking a little extra care to nurture the talent also and drive them towards entrepreneurship?
So the E-Cell in particular treats everyone equally, and then we encourage everyone to participate. To mention that the head of E-Cell was a woman, the treasurer was a woman. So we treat very equally. Along with that, inside the IMB campus, we don't need any specific to encourage women, though everyone is very participative. We have NSRCEL, which runs specific women outside to come up with and participate in these programs, the special like women startup programs, the 10,000 of Goldman Sachs programs, to come up and encourage those women who didn't have those understanding information on network, and those who need the support from the niche to develop. So yeah, there are the programs which help women as well and a part of an IMB.
Yeah, that's wonderful to know. So, Priyanka, out of my personal experience and talking to a lot of women founders who have led their journeys, there are certain challenges that we need to address slightly differently, and that's where we are trying to work it out, some portions of it in the playbook. It's good to treat men and women equally, but the challenges, for example, a career break around maternity, that's something that is unavoidable, and that's something that really affects the career plans of
Yeah.
majority of the women. Now, this is something which is a reality. We have to understand and work around that. Similarly, the challenges of, for example, travel constraints. Now, as an entrepreneur, you can't live in a world where you have a lot of constraints because you are already, nurturing another baby in the form of your company.
Yes.
Similarly, other areas where networking shyness or promoting yourself, inhibitions, also societal norms. In many areas, we have found that women are not so encouraged on entrepreneurship right from their homes. They are encouraged to take up employment because it's something which is easy. It could be, but that's also one of the reasons we are underrepresented by women at board level in senior leadership roles. It's becoming scantier, and New India needs a good representation on at board levels and beyond. So that's one thing that maybe you could reflect upon and see how we can. I think we can collaborate on that. As entrepreneurial community, we are also part of the ecosystem. And definitely, if wherever we could contribute, that is our attempt to kind of share experiences because we could have learned from each other a lot. So that's something that I think we can just maybe a little bit enhance further.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you that the women has a lot of challenge, and as you very nicely mentioned that the maternity and the child care at home are the two major problem that we all face. At the college level, definitely it is not for us, but beyond that, if we want to run, there is. And every woman has something curiosity in the mind to run and think about it. I think for that, the best program which runs as well and is that online support. So basically, there is a program where you have to be in the campus for say 3 months or 4 months and work on your idea, or basically not in campus in particular, in Bangalore, and then come to NSRCEL. There can be programs, and we have to look upon where it is run online, where you can come to the classes and understand, and the discussion like the discussion we are having and talk about the problems in the suitable time, as well as you have to visit once in a week or once in a month to the campus for those networking and the connections and the support. I think this is one of the very major programs which we can consider, which help women not to travel and as well as work on those ideas and grow as fast as they can.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah, with the leveraging technology, and I think post COVID, all of us are very comfortable with using teleconferencing
Yes.
and networking. So I think that's a good shift in favor of women who have certain genuine constraints, and we can't deny
Yes.
that. But I think the world requires. I think we all agree that we require more women workforce to come forward and
Yes.
work. I think the emotional quotient in senior board levels, as what I've seen, is when a board is completely full of men, is very different from the emotional quotient when we have women. And I think it's been pointed out through researches that a balanced board has very significantly higher success possibility than a board which is kind of completely narrowed or focused on any one gender or ethnicity, or that doesn't have diversity or inclusion. So I think as we are all growing and the economy is booming, I think we need to consider that aspect also, bringing in more
Yes.
diversity.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think the valuation of the company, and then when we invest in a company and we see the how company grows as an investor point of view and the funding point of view, people do see the decision making. And I think these are the factors are now being considered, if I can read it right, that who are the decision makers and how many women are there. Because with the time, as you mentioned, we have really understood that women involvement in the decision making process is creates a good decision making process, and we all sometime agree to it. I mean, anyhow we agree to it, and there are data to support it as well. So I think in my understanding there are a lot of investors who are considering these factors in valuing a company. So when we do valuation, and I think this is the major one of the very major thing, because every company is running behind the investment and funding. And if the investor is considering this really ask the board to basically reconsider the decision making process.
True. So, Priyanka, on a closing note, would you like to share any success stories or any motivating thoughts for women who aspire to become entrepreneurs, or what if they can reach out to IMB E-Cell to get networks or they can get support? Would you like to share something?
Yeah, definitely. I think the two things in mind, the few good startups I can talk about who are IMB student and got support from IMB, and who are non IMB student, women in particular, and got support from IMB is, I can talk about the few which we all talk about the Shark Tank, right? And there
Right.
are three companies which came to Shark Tank. One is, I mean, there are many, but like the top places, one, I think her name is Shruti Reddy. She's running this Agni Yatri, which basically is for the funeral of the old people. And she is an IMB student, the weekly program. And there's the Oli, there is the Kargi Green, there is Inyosa. All these are women run program which are incubated in NSRCEL. And there are many more. So the 10,000 program is generating a lot of women entrepreneurs and supporting women entrepreneurs. So the three things which I would like to say, any women who has an idea or not have an idea and want to do something of their own, don't hesitate, take the first step. The second is reach out to incubation center. They really help, and as NSRCL is one of the India's biggest incubation center and really help women to grow. And third is that it applies to everyone, is that don't think what the world says. You just go ahead and take the first step and reach out to people who are supporting entrepreneurship, who are talking about entrepreneurship. Reach out to many as you can. One shot, you just need one shot in the world. One person reply to you, and that's it. So basically, hunt and you'll find your one.
Right. So I've got goosebumps even after running a company for close to 10 years, listening to your motivational message. So I am hoping all you women out there heard Priyanka say that nothing is unachievable. You should give it your best shot. Don't hesitate in reaching out to wonderful incubation support partners like INB and other NCR cell that they are doing so much of work. They can provide you support on various aspects from incubation to market research and legal aspects, financial aspects. So please do reach out. Don't let your dreams die just in your minds. So definitely take action. Thank you so much, Priyanka. It was absolutely wonderful talking to you and very, very inspiring to know that you have already helped churn out so many successful stories with your great support and guidance. And we wish you that you continue to do the same for hundreds of other startups in the future.
Thank you so much, Somna. Thank you for having me here.
Sure. Thanks so much, Priyanka, and wish you all the best. Thank you once again for your time.